Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home at Music and More. I am so excited tonight because we've been trying to get this lady in a conversation since at least January. She's been busy and she's been traveling all over the world. Well, tonight is our night because actually she is coming to us from London. Talk about commitment. I think it's almost 2 in the morning. I think it is 2 in the morning there. Please welcome our dear friend Hil St. So,
Hi.
hi. Is it 2
Oh,
in the morning there?
it is 2 in the morning. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
yeah. And you look like all refreshed, like you're just
I
getting up.
know. I'm lazy F for you, Angela, honestly. But yeah, it's 2 in the morning. But I slept in the day, so I'm fresh and I feel fine. So
Oh, well, there you go. And as a musician, I mean, you're used to keeping these late hours, right?
definitely yes, because of a lot of shows that we do sometimes overrun or you get home really late. So yeah, this
Yeah.
is nothing to be honest with
I
you.
love it. Well, it's so good to finally meet you. Oh, and
Oh,
people are, able to hop on with their comments. Hi, Marcella. She said, good evening. I know your
good.
fans are just happy to connect with you like me. I'm over here trying not to fan out. But, let's just talk about you. I mean, a lot of us have heard your music since the beginning. I mean, I know your first 4 albums were all smash hits. You took a
Yes.
break and now you're back.
And I'm
Congratulations.
back. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome
So
back.
yeah,
So,
it feels
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, let's just talk about your journey a little bit. You're
sure.
from Zambia, right?
I am, yes, yeah. So I was born in Zambia, but I live in the UK. So we came to the UK as a family when I was, must have been about 5. So this is pretty
Oh,
much home. Zambia's home as well because I do visit it once a year. So
that's
um,
good.
I can identify with both as being my home. But yeah, so I grew up in Zambia, but came to the UK and basically didn't really get into music until much later in my life. I kind of stumbled across it, It was I remember it was a house party my brother had, and some DJ was doing his thing, and then I just started kind of vibing to it, and he was like, "Oh wow, you've got an amazing voice."
Hmm,
Um, so that's really kind of how what kickstarted my music career.
really? Do you
And
remember the song you were singing? Or
no,
you
I
just
can't actually. No, I can't remember. I just remember it was a house party, and I just basically got behind the mic and was messing around with the mic, and and I think just that comment kind of, I suppose, yeah, it just planted that seed, like, oh, maybe
yeah,
there's something there to nurture.
yeah.
And really, off the back of that, I kind of started to dabble in music. I wasn't doing it full time at the time. I was didn't really know how to get into the industry, to be honest with you. So I was really
Yeah.
just trying different avenues and, I answering to different ads, just trying to get into the music. And then eventually, I found a studio that I went to do some recording, because every time I did my auditions, I'd always do the Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder until you come back to me.
Ooh,
So
yeah,
that was the
there
first
you
song
go.
I ever recorded. Yeah. So um, I recorded that song as a demo, as an a cappella. And the studio where I recorded it loved it. And he introduced me to the producers at the time. And that's really how I started taking my music more seriously. That was
Oh, I
pretty
love it. You mentioned these amazing. I mean, those are the masters in R&B, right? And
yes,
right. So I'm just curious, like coming from Zambia, and of course the
yes,
music is completely different. So the
yeah.
music you grew up with, well, up until age 5, and then when you came to the UK, was your sound influenced by Zambia, or was it all like American soul, or what do you think?
It was definitely, I would say, primarily American soul, because my dad is he's a soul head. I just remember, like, he's got like a vast sort of vinyl collection. All the old records you can think of like your favorite artists. He's got that record. So I just remember hearing that kind of music around the house. So yeah, so I just grew up listening to people like Stevie Wonder, Marvin, Staple Singers, Diana Ross, just all that kind of music, Melba Moore, you name it. Or anything soulful, that's what was played in the house. So that is primarily what I've been influenced by. But
Nice.
having said that, obviously, having sort of grown up in Zambia as well, you'd hear sort of our local music, and I think that kind of infiltrated me
Mhm.
indirectly, definitely, because it's got like a very the Zambian music has got like a very warm sound, because a lot of it is guitar led. So definitely,
Nice.
yeah, I would say, that I'd probably have inflections of that in my music as well.
Nice. I would love to hear. I'm not familiar with Zambian music. Nigerian music, a lot of African Afro beats, which are finally popular in the US. And
Definitely
right, I mean,
taking
I'm so
over.
happy. And yeah, I mean, so my question is, would there ever be any native Zambian music that you might do and release or incorporate
Ooh, I think
deliberately?
I mean, my Zambian like speaking the Zambian dialect is very, rough. So a lot of the music they do incorporates, kind of like your local dialect. So my kind of accent is very English. So I don't know if that would work, but
Very.
maybe musically, yes, definitely I would
Okay.
incorporate that
That's
in
nice.
my music.
Yeah, that's good about that. But yes, your accent it's very English.
Yeah, it's funny because just been on holiday now, visiting my folks, and like when you're calling say like an Uber cab and they speak to you, they always assume that you're not local. They think you're white. Actually, they think you're not. They don't believe it when they see you. They're like, oh, didn't realize
It's
you were.
you.
Yeah. Something that we're kind of used to now. So it is what it is.
It's funny. You're like, no, I'm from here.
Yeah, and you can see their attitude changes as well, because initially they're very polite on the phone because they think, oh, I've got one of these
This
customers,
white
and then
woman.
oh, you're just one of us then. Yeah, so but it was quite amusing.
That is funny. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that was a bit of an adjustment for you too. I mean, just going home because
Yeah,
I mean,
I
how can
mean,
you not? You're like 5.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been fortunate in that we've been able to, my parents always ensured that we were able to travel every so often to go home, and,
Good.
we just connect with our relatives out there and stuff. So even though, don't live out there, we definitely have a lot of, like family and people that we
That's
kind of,
good.
stay in touch with. So it's not so, doesn't feel so foreign when you're out there. You don't feel a bit, don't feel so displaced because we do have that connection.
That's good, and good for you for going often because, a lot of people who leave home and then go back, like a few years later, and that's your foundation,
I
regardless of
know
where you live it. You never want to
it's
lose.
home.
Yeah,
It's
good
home.
for
It's
you.
where the roots are. So I mean, obviously my parents live out there as well. My
Oh,
younger
good.
sister's out there with her family. So we try and go as often as we can. And I do consider it home. It is home.
It is
It's
home.
where I was born. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Good for you for keeping that connection. I love that you were talking about, getting into your dad's vinyl and all that great
Yes.
R&B and soul music that you were privy to at a very young age. Does
Yeah.
that explain, like, maybe your early cover of the Isley Brothers, For the Love
Oh,
of
most
You?
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Because that's the kind of music I grew up listening to, and it's the kind of music that I love. I mean, even now, I kind of, if I always kind of revert back to listening to,
Yeah,
the old catalog of music. It's just music that I enjoy. It's timeless, and and it's influenced my music. So I just absolutely enjoy listening to some of the old records. And in fact, when I was back home just now, I was listening, sitting. My dad, he loves his music, so we were just sitting, and I was playing some of the old songs that I remember listening to when he used to play. And he's,
nice.
oh, you remember this one? You remember that one? So, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely love listening
oh,
to the
that's
old stuff.
priceless. Oh, you're making me miss my dad. I
Oh,
can see you too now. It's like, remember this one, baby?
yeah. Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, okay, so now let's talk about your music. I mean, you've got what, 4 albums you had
I've
already?
got 4 albums yet, all under my belt, and obviously I did do a kind of like a best of um project over here in the UK, just because the 4th album, Black Rose, was never released in the UK. So I had the opportunity to do a compilation,
Nice.
sort of, put in songs from all my 4 albums. But this album, Back in Love, is the 5th one. Yeah, it's the 5th album.
Mm, I love
Yeah.
it. Congratulations. So I wonder, and I'm sure we all are wondering,
Yes.
why the long break between number 4 and number 5?
Oh, you know
It's
what? It was like, I think I was just going through a transition, and I needed to take some time out actually just to find inspiration, really.
mm,
Take my time. When you just like you need to take a back seat and live life a little bit and just try and get some some more things to write about, I guess. But
Yeah.
it just happened that I don't know. It was meant to be kind of like maybe like a year break turned into I don't know how many years it was. Maybe like I think it's been 8 years or something like that in between. So it wasn't something that I consciously decided to do. It just kind of
Okay.
happened.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
totally
just kind
understand that. Yeah, life
of,
happens. Like you
yeah,
said, to live a little bit and get inspired. Okay, so I have a personal question for you.
yeah.
Sure. So, new album, Back in Love.
Yes.
Is that to say that Hill Street
Ah,
Soul is back in love? Is that
love
what you're
you.
trying to say? You trying to tell us something?
Well,
Come
you
on.
know what? The title really, the reason I called it Back in Love was I wanted to a title that would kind of fit my current situation because we've just spoken about before, I took some time out to get inspiration, and I want to say I fell out of love with music, but it was just that kind of thing of I just felt like I needed to take time out. So the whole Back in Love thing was kind of like, when you just find that spark again and you fall in
Mm,
love with what you're doing. So that is what it's about. And a lot of people think it's me finding my significant other half or whatever, but
tell us. I mean,
no, but it's really talking about just me falling back into in love with my music, as well
that's
as
beautiful.
um this whole project was kick-started really at the beginning of the pandemic, when everything shut
Mm,
down.
yeah,
And I remember that's when I had written One Life, and I wanted to write a song that would kind of a statement in terms of how I felt at the time, which is at that point it was quite scary, everything that was going on, because a lot of us
yeah,
didn't really know what was going on, what was going
right.
to happen. So it was really more about, okay, you really have to live and live life and enjoy it. And as we we've only got one life, so that is what Back in Love is about. It's just about falling back into music and falling back in love with life as well, really.
Yeah,
Just after having a glimpse of what it was like at the time, it was quite
right. Yeah,
depressing, scaring. So yeah, so
sing
that's
along.
what it's about.
Okay. I'm
Sorry
sure
to just
everybody's wondering. Well, even if it's more personal and deeper, you don't have to tell us. It's okay.
Oh no, honestly, if it was, I really would say that. I really
Okay.
would.
I keep pressing, right?
Yeah, I'll be
No, it's the
that
music.
level of rooftop. Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're
So
back in love with us, your fans, and the music.
there you go. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I'll take it. I will definitely take it. And congratulations on the new project. It's
Thank
absolutely
you.
beautiful.
Oh,
And,
thank you so much.
it really is. Your voice is just divine.
Oh,
And you collaborated. Actually, you've got two duets with
yeah.
another person who has one of those golden voices. And we had the opportunity to have him on this platform a couple
Wow,
months
wow.
back. Noel Gordine, tell us about
Yeah.
how did that even come about and how was it
Oh my
working with
gosh. I mean, working with Noel is amazing. He's so talented. He's so prolific and just in what he does, and he's really just accomplished that. He's a perfectionist. So I learned a lot working with him. But I met him through a mutual friend, if you like, and stroke producer who is Reggie Myricks, who I've done quite a few collaborations with. So I think it was way back in 2014. A promoter over here in the UK contacted me to say that Noel was releasing a song called No Worries, and they were doing like a remix, and they wanted like a female British songstress to feature on it. So I was contacted, and they sent the track to me. I heard it, loved it, and I was like, yeah, I'm on board. So did that. Everything worked out, great. So that's how that affiliation started.
Wonderful.
Um, off the back of that track, really, in 2014. But then I didn't really do anything with Noel, and like obviously for the new project until much, much later. So I just, we sort of kept in touch, and I reached out to him and I just said, look, I'm working on some stuff, and I wondered if he would be interested. And of course, he was up for it. And we worked on Blessed was the first song that we co-wrote
Mm,
together. And then
beautiful.
off the back of that, when the album was kind of like, ready to roll, the label said they wanted to do an album. I reached out to him again, and we did the other song called Amazing. But I've done loads of other stuff with Noel, and we'll be doing some more stuff with him. So yeah, we've even spoken about doing a duets album because we love
Oh,
working together so much. So
you might as well. Oh, I
you know,
can't wait for that.
yeah. So what's his space? But yeah, he's incredible. He really is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, and it's great that you two have such chemistry, I guess, on and off the mic, because
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
transfers to the songs and the
Yes, definitely,
yeah.
definitely. He's
When
just,
you
I don't know, he's just like he's very easy to work with, and just his voice is just, I just love his
golden.
voice. It's amazing. Yeah. So for me, it's a treat. And he's so quick as well. I mean, I'm quite, I take my time when I'm writing songs and stuff, but no, I could give him say, look, I want to do a song today, and he'll have it ready by tomorrow. He's, yeah, he really is incredible.
So let's talk about A Feeling So Beautiful.
Yes, a
Did you
feeling.
write this song?
I did, yes. I wrote that with Reggie Myricks, one of the producers on the album. And I think that was a song that came after Blessed. So the label were like, oh, we need another single. And Reggie sent me some tracks, and that particular track just stood out to me.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to write something that really kind of, fitted the music, if you like, and just I wanted to write a song about just spending that kind of quality time with, your significant other half. So it's really just talking about, living in that moment, really, rather than, a love song about, being in love. But it's just about spending that quality time at that specific moment. So it's really focusing on that specific moment in time,
Yeah.
and it's like an ode to, your love, really,
That's
and
beautiful.
just talking about how they make you feel, and how spending that time is amazing, to the point that you kind of want to recreate that special moment again, really. So
It's a
yeah.
feeling so beautiful.
It's a feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
beautiful. So when you write, let's talk about your process. When you're
Yeah,
writing, different singers, different artists
yeah.
process differently. Some will hear the melody and then they'll just, write like that. And you talked about how Noel, maybe he'll just, have an idea, or you tell him an idea and he can just go. Or how is it for you? You have a thought, or is it the music first?
It's a bit. I would say it's like a combination, but I'd say the majority of the times it's, if I hear the music, it will just, I don't know, it will just inspire or trigger an idea, and then I
Okay.
will run with that idea. So I think that's the approach I tend to use. But having said that, I have written songs before where I might have written the lyrics down without the music, and then obviously the music comes after. But I would say most times I write when I hear music, it just, I don't know, it just sparks something in me.
Yes.
And, depending on what I want to talk about at the time, how I'm feeling, or maybe it might be something that I've just noticed whilst I'm out and about and, doing my thing. So it just varies.
I love it. Hill Street Soul, right here on HUR, Music and More. We finally got a chance to sit down
No.
and spend some time with you. And I know it's really late there, and I don't want to keep you any longer. But before you go, is there anything that you want to just say to your fans, or if you feel like singing, or just leave with any inspiration? So, first, give your social media, and then whatever it is you want to leave us with.
Well, my social media, everything is on my website. So that's www.hillstreetsoul.com. It's quite straightforward. And the Hill is just the one L. So you got my Instagram on there, Twitter, Facebook. And you can reach out to me on all those platforms.
Smart.
Obviously, I've got the album, which is out now, Back in Love. So do check it out if you haven't already. I think there's something on there for everybody. And what else? What else? I've got some new visuals coming out soon. I've been, whilst I was away in, the motherland, I took advantage, and I created some visuals for some of the songs. So that will be coming soon.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. And also, I am working on some shows in the States. I'm really trying to get myself back out there.
Please.
The last
Yes.
out there was years ago. So yeah, do look out for that. It's all going to be on my my website. So I hope to, come and spend time with my, my American fans and supporters that have,
We
been
miss
with me from day dot, really, because, look, as you can see, I've been doing this for a while now, and it just feels great, to be honest with you, to have taken that time out and, been able to come back and just, in a way,
yes.
kind of pick up from where I left off. That's kind of how I
Yeah.
feel.
Refresh.
Yeah, so it's honestly, so I'm so excited to get out there and share some of the new music that I've put out and what have you. So that is pretty much what I'm up to, really. So I'm working on I'm doing a lot of touring over here at the moment, doing some shows
Beautiful.
here and there. So I want to bring that over to the States as well.
We're
So
ready. We are
say
ready
thank
for you.
honestly, I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. I'm
That's
so
so
looking forward to
awesome.
it.
Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much
We
for having
love
me.
you.
Oh, I
I mean,
appreciate you guys as well. Love you more.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having me. I appreciate it very much.
No, it's wonderful. We feel like we're even closer to you. We got to know you a little bit more tonight. So thank you
Oh,
for sharing.
thank
All
you.
right, ladies and gentlemen, Hil St Soul. Don't forget, follow her. Go to her website. On all socials, you can follow us as well. That's at WHUR-FM. While you're at it, you can follow me too at Angela Stribling on all platforms. We so appreciate you keeping us your #1 music station in the DMV. We absolutely love you. Have a good night. Thank you, Hil St Soul.
Bye.
Bye.